Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back where we started. It could be described in many ways. A big circle, a big square, perhaps even a cycle.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're going to start this session here. Back in the town of Nirvana, Nevada, with Digby and Mary separated, heading out in their own separate ways. We see as Digby walks across this gravel road, looking at all sorts of different pieces of scrap metal. What would he be doing at this this dump, basically, the Nirvana Waste Disposal Center?
Digby, nothing suspicious, he's just looking for some empty, or full, either one, propane canisters, just, the usual.
I think it's so funny.
Right now. What's funny?
I think it's so funny that whenever Digby is by himself, you decide to have him skulking.
Yeah.
What he's doing is skulking around, looking at suspicious objects.
Yeah.
And you get mad when people think you're a bit of a creeper. I'm just saying.
He's just an old man.
This whole entire
Digby
thing
is
started
not like
because
that.
Digby was
It's
creeping
just
around by a school.
his way of travel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And as you pick up one of these propane canisters and shake it up in the air, like a madman, a kid walks by and goes, "Sir? Sir, what are you doing?"
I'm impromptu football. Yeah, I popped mine last week, and I'm looking for a replacement. Just tossing it up and down. See the weight. You've done this before.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Me and my dad play catch all the time. Do you wanna play catch, sir?
Oh, that's all right. I'm pretty busy. I need to find several more of these. I've got a lot of people to play catch with.
Oh.
You'll excuse me. Digby.
Okay. And he starts walking away. You see this little boy. He's wearing overalls. He has this strawberry blonde hair. And in his deep, light blue eyes, you can see tears start to form. As he wanders away.
Digby, you jerk.
And so we cut to Mary. And Mary, you are on your way, walking down the sidewalk, about a block and a half from the Clara Schaefer Memorial Library. What would she be doing on the walk there?
I think she'd try looking inconspicuous because what she's about to do makes her very uncomfortable. So, in an attempt to look non-conspicuous, she kind of shoves her hands down in her pockets and does a weird, funky walk up towards the library.
So it's one of those situations where she's trying her very, very best not to look conspicuous and in turn looks like the most suspicious individual of all time.
Yeah, exactly. Which is really funny because to get to the library, she's passing the police station. So it's going great.
Yeah. You see as you pass this police station, a couple of the cops actually lower their sunglasses looking at you as you wander forward.
Hey guys, you know me, just going to get some reading in.
Are you stealing something?
What?
Ma'am, are you stealing something? Are you like...
What?
Are
No.
here to
I just have
admit?
cold hands. No, look. And she pulls her hands out of her pockets. Look, see? No stealing. Just going to the library.
You're going to steal from the library?
No, I'm going to do homework at the library.
Then why didn't you bring anything?
I brought my brain.
Okay, checks out.
Yep.
And they go back to talking. And you wander back. Yeah. Would Mary... Actually, I've wanted to ask this question for a while. Would Mary wear any sort of, like, backpack or anything since she is a student? Would she have any sort of bag or backpack?
She would, but she doesn't have it on her because of where she woke up.
Yes. Yeah. And as we sort of zoom out on both of these perspectives, we actually flash back to the morning. The night before, you had both decided to crash at the bunker, startled by the fact that you were seemingly back in time, back before any of the other stuff had happened. Back when it was you two and Dakota. And you sort of both meditated on this as you went to sleep in your respective rooms. And as you drifted off to sleep, Digby, you wake up in a dark area.
Different from where I went to sleep?
Oh yeah, very different from where you went to sleep. Where you went to sleep, the bunker sort of had this like low lighting coming from inside of the ventilation. Looked like it had all been lit up. There were like little bits of illumination about, but here it's just dark. You can see the moon shining overhead as you are deep down in this rocky area. And the scene that plays out before you is the Wendigo. It's hulking, standing 7 feet. It is this massive creature, but it is not all well. It's burning. It is on fire. It's burning, and it seems that the sap, this black goo that covers it, sort of hardens on its body and keeps it in place.
It's stuck?
It's stuck in place. And then you can see Mary going up. She looks a bit different than she does now. She's sort of a little bit edgier, you would say. More bags under the eyes. Just a more sharp look to her. And she goes up, ready to charge up some sort of like spiritual blast, some sort of like sonic scream or whatever. Her hair turns this white pigment, but nothing happens.
Like, Mary's just doing that and there's nothing going on?
Her hair turns back. Her pupils return to her eyes. And she just sort of sits there, sniffling. And she doesn't know what to do. And then you wake up, back in the bunker.
Oh.
Mary? as you go to sleep, you would have what would she have done before she'd gone to sleep? What was like her bedtime ritual?
Well, assuming Barkin doesn't have any skincare essentials, she does her best to replicate her normal nighttime routine with face masks and things. It's not quite the same, but it's very... You can tell she's done this before.
You can see all of these, like, cleaning products and, like, old, like, self-care products from, like, way back in the 60s and 70s.
She cries a little bit and puts hand sanitizer on her face.
Yeah. And she would lie down in her little cot and fall asleep. And unlike Digby's dream, she is not consumed by this blackness, but the sky is red. It's the same red you saw in the Schaefer estate. Deep and almost liquid in a sense. Inside of the town, you look around and you see all of the citizens. Some familiar faces, some unfamiliar. Your father. Clutch their heads as their eyes start to bleed. You run around frantically trying to get their attention, but no one, not a single person, reacts. And then all at once, their heads explode into this red vapor. And as that red vapor disperses up into the sky, the world drains of color. This red light turns pale. And then color returns to the world as everything resets. And then Mary wakes up. So it is the morning after you guys both had these dreams, these premonitions, however you would like to interpret those. But Mary, you would have woken up to sweet dreams. Huh, Mary?
Ah, shut up. What's your name? Frank? We're gonna go with Frank today.
No, I have an actual.
Okay, Frank.
All right. Okay.
Did
I've
you
gone
have
by
sweet
many
dreams?
names over the years. I've had many hosts. It's okay. All right. Yeah, I had such sweet dreams. We shared the
so
same mind,
great.
Mary. I know what you saw.
I know what you saw.
All right. Are you going? Is this a mocking day? Are you going to mock me?
I don't know. Do you have any tips on how to deal with that? Oh, no? That's so great. I'm gonna
Yes.
go have breakfast.
The answer to your question is yes. I do have tips on how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm
You
all
see-
ears.
I didn't lose any of my memory, Mary. I know exactly what happened. And what happened is that you were too weak to protect the people that you care about.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to go have a healthy, balanced breakfast and chill the fuck out.
Okay, then. You go do that. And you can feel the presence leave your mind. All right, and you guys both walk out into this common room. Digby, how you holding up?
Digby's not quite sure what to think of himself. He's a little worried because of that dream last night. Thankfully, it's given him something to think about and plan for.
Yeah, okay. That's good. What do you guys each have for breakfast? There's a fully stocked refrigerator.
Ooh.
Digby, you took care of yourself. You're fine. What would Digby have stocked the refrigerator with?
I think Digby is an oatmeal guy.
He's an oatmeal guy?
Yeah.
So, instead, the pantry,
Yeah.
the panic room that you have sort of, like... the panic room that you have sort of turned into a pantry for your own uses has so much oatmeal in it. 30 pounds of oatmeal that you got for $40. There was a place just outside of town. It's called Earth Stare, going out of business, and they sold you 30 pounds of oatmeal for $40.
What a steal.
Mary, oatmeal?
Oh yeah, she actually is an oatmeal person.
Do you guys do up your oatmeal at all? Any fixins like bananas, honey?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. A nice cinnamon oatmeal. Yeah. So you guys are sitting there eating your oatmeal. And Barkin walks out. He's got these deep bags under his eyes. He's got his usual fishy complexion. I'm actually going to take a moment to describe him a little bit because I've had a year to stew on what his design looks like. It's this man wearing these blue jean material overalls. He has this flannel on underneath that with these cuffed cuffs. He's it all folded up nicely. His hair, his white gray hair, is slicked back in a like messy fashion. But you can see like a gill protruding out top of his head, sort of like dispersing where he slicked that hair back. His ears have scales on them. And as for his face, he has this big, bushy mustache that reaches down below his mouth and even below his chin. Sort of one of those, like...
Is it a handlebar?
Yeah, it's a
mustache.
handlebar.
Nice.
It's a big, bushy handlebar mustache. But you can see scales sort of emanating from around his mouth. And that's Barkin.
Yippee.
And he goes, "How you guys doing?"
I'm doing so great. I'm doing so
fine.
great.
So great is a
overall.
relative term. Average?
Yeah.
You're doing average on a day like this. This is an important day.
Well, I feel like I don't know, jinx something if I had an up and at 'em attitude about all this.
All right. Well, you know who's been up and at 'em for 48 hours?
I bet it's you.
Yeah. Special guest, Mary. You guessed right. It's me. I've been up and at 'em trying to track down this goddamn wendigo, and I have some good news and I have some bad news.
bad news first.
So the Wendigo is probably going to do whatever it's planning to do tonight. Like
Oh,
by
tonight.
sundown.
Oh, that doesn't give us a lot of time.
I've been tracking its movements. It's been gathering body parts. It's been gathering individual bits of people, and it's been doing one victim a day. And if I'm looking at the anatomy of a human body, it has one piece left.
You know what it has? Like,
Well, the only thing I know is that the one piece is real.
Digby collapses on the spot.
Okay.
He was secretly a weeb this whole time.
Can we get much higher? Anyway, and he goes, if we look at all the parts that have been taken, the thing it needs to complete it needs a ear. It needs a single ear. And it's probably going to strike tonight. Probably going to take that ear. Probably going to complete its evil plan. As far as plans go, stealing body parts is pretty evil as is. So whatever he's doing with that, also probably pretty sinister.
Yeah.
I think you're right on the money with that one.
Exactly. So the way its hunting has sort of worked is it steals the thing sort of as the sun goes down and then retreats wherever at night. I analyzed it using a satellite last night. I can't look inside of the town, but I know when it entered and when it exited. How do I have access to a government satellite? We may never know. And then you hear this voice kick on from the ventilation. We most certainly know, Barkin. I gave you access to that. Yeah, well, I wanted to keep some mystique with it. You get no mystique, Barkin. You are an old man. Stupid old man. Yeah, well, okay, all right. Now I feel bad about myself.
It's okay. We all have voices.
You
that
don't look
tell
a
us
day
mean
over
things.
40.
Digby, I am 86 years old.
Ah.
Of course I don't look a day over 40. Anyway, let's get you guys situated. So, come on. Let's go to the meeting room. And he opens up this door. This is where you guys a year ago watched all of his research footage. Or you guys, the players, played out this thing a year ago. Not literally a year ago in the events of the game.
Yeah.
It's this room with a long table and this projector sitting on one end. Of course, this projector, like tarp or mat or like screen. Yep, screen. That's the word I was looking for. Is sitting on the other end. It sort of hangs down. He pulls it down and grabs some visual aids. These projector reels. Where do you guys want to sit? There's chairs on either side.
Something deep down in Mary's gut tells her to sit on the table, and she doesn't quite know why. But it feels right.
Mary, I swear to fucking God, if you sit on that table again, and I have to project this image on the back of your head.
I'm sorry. I hear voices. It told me to.
Yeah, so you guys sit down, and he plops those visual aids into the projector. You see it plastered up on screen, an image of the Wendigo. He goes, "This is what we know. The Wendigo secretes some sort of oil or gel or something, but this black substance, we don't know what its capabilities are. We don't know what it can do, but we know that it secretes it, and we know that it utilizes it in some way. Mary, you've had a run-in with this creature before, right?
Yeah. I have.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You found it at the edge of the quarry. After you told me about that, I went into more analysis about, like, the quarry and the history of this thing. Nothing out of the ordinary until a couple of days ago with the murder of the Cevotech employees. So, I'm thinking that this was ground zero. This was ground zero for this event, was these boys blowing up the old shaft tunnels. So, if my knowledge is correct, if my brain a workadirk the way that it's supposed to, then this, and he points to the graphic of the quarry, is its base. Yeah.
Seems reasonable enough.
More specifically, the tunnels underneath. But, yeah, we can just use the general quarry as we're alluding to it. We don't need to say the quarry lower tunnel AB negative squared times the
Right.
root of pi plus ultra.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? Can I shed any light on anything? Any details?
Do you know on average like when it's in and out of the quarry, when it leaves, when it stays there?
So, like I said, this thing has a tendency to go out hunting as the sun is setting
Right.
and then be back by the time it's set.
Okay.
For whatever reason, this thing doesn't like hunting during the day, and it doesn't like hunting in the midst of night.
Interesting.
Yeah, for whatever reason. But I'd say that we need to put together some sort of fancy-dancy plan, real lickety-split, or this thing is going to endanger everyone. And as he says that, he goes to the next slide, and you can see the anatomy of the human mind sort of plastered up there. This brain taken apart. He goes, so, for whatever reason, Nirvana is a weird sort of space that alters your cognition. It alters your ability to perceive events, or maybe I theorize that maybe it alters the events themselves and pulls from your brain, but I don't know which ones. I don't know much. I've done this in the last 12 hours. I really should be getting a lot of, like, applause here. But, I mean, my Nobel Prize is going to have to wait, probably until I'm dead. Me and Mother Teresa can fucking bitch about it in hell.
I'm sure you will.
Oh.
And he goes, yeah, so this thing changes the way that your brain works. It puts in this set of guidelines.
Okay.
Sort of subverts things. So things that would seem strange and out of place become normal inside of the borders. But the more erratic these strange things become, the less it can hide it from you. So, like, if an alien walked into the town of Nirvana, Nevada, it would look like a guy. But then, if that alien started mauling somebody, it would, like, that illusion would dissipate and it would look like its true form. So what the minds start to do in this case is attack themselves. They start to go into overdrive. This illusory defense mechanism starts to work really hard. And then he shows this graphic of this 3-step process. So here we have mild discomfort. Seeing one strange thing out of the ordinary will send somebody into a pretty severe headache for days. Now, this also comes with the consequence of unfocus, wandering about, sort of like a zombie-like state a little bit, but you're still conscious. And then he moves on to 2. They become completely unresponsive after they've seen like 1 or 2, like a couple of things. If a couple of things completely break the immersion, this is what happens. They become shamblers, basically.
Would these couple of things need to happen in succession, or?
Well, so here's what would happen. If one event took place and they would start getting the discomfort.
Right.
This would last for several days. If at any point in that several day period they experience another event, yeah, they're becoming a shambler.
Okay.
And if that specific event continues on for longer,
their heads explode?
Their heads explode into confetti, scanner style. Yeah, it's not a pretty image, but it's what happens. So, I mean, I don't know what this thing is attempting to do, but whatever it is, it's most likely not going to be very good for the town. Already, we've had a couple of people shambling around because of these wendigo attacks.
Already?
Yeah. I'll also say this. Most everyone in this ding-dong town doesn't want to leave. Why? Because, again, the subconscious subversion won't let them. It wants to keep them inside. So, if we're trying to evacuate anyone, if that's the plan, that's almost never going to work. To get somebody outside of this town, you literally had to put me in a car and, like, drive me. You literally had to kidnap me. And then I was in severe physical pain for a very long time.
That was not a fun experience for both parties involved.
Yeah. And even then, I was already fighting the thing internally. Most of these people don't even know that they're being assaulted mentally, so they're not fighting back against anything. Very, very much like a we are in the Matrix scenario, and these guys are all asleep, and we are awake. We are woke. We are red-pilled. They are all blue-pilled. I don't know why you two are red-pilled, but, you know, I'm going to stop with this analogy before
I think that's for the best.
The Republican Redditors get me and find me and start bashing me for using their lingo. Nothing. Mary, you've never been on Reddit before, have you?
No.
Good.
I'm looking at you, audience. If you're using Reddit right now as you're listening to this podcast, this is a PSA. Stop. Go and browse some other social media account. Browse our other podcasts and things. Even if you're listening as you're looking at posts, just stop. Go on Tumblr. Have you ever been on Tumblr? Have you been on Tumblr in the last couple of years?
Tumblr's letting
It's a pretty
sexy
niche,
things come back.
platform.
They are.
Yeah, but change it up. Use Tumblr. Stop using Reddit.
We
use
at
Twitter.
Imaginauts.
Don't use Twitter, actually.
We at Imaginauts do not endorse Reddit, Twitter.
This is gonna age like a
MySpace.
fine cheese. Like a fine cheese when we have our own subreddit.
Oh my god.
Don't go on Reddit unless it's our
Unless it's our
subreddit.
subreddit.
Unless it's r/Lazitus.
We are officially gaslighting you. And we're keeping it in the podcast.
And that has been our regularly scheduled break.
That
Thank
was
you.
the mid-roll.
That was the mid-roll. Yeah. All right. So, what is the plan? What are we doing here? How are we keeping these guys' heads from exploding scanner style?
First thing I can think of is getting rid of the problem, the wendigo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
How do we
go about that?
How do we go about that one?
I definitely encountered it. I definitely remember it. And I think that I should kill it with powers that I definitely have.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. You use your wacky magic powers.
I do think that we should confront it before sunset, because if we confront it after, it might have completed something that it I can't speak. I do think we should do this before sunset when it goes out to hunt.
All right. Well, we could try and suss out its next target. I mean, I don't know any way to sort of like divine that.
Other
but
than watching it?
I mean, well, yeah, but once it goes into the town, it disappears.
I can talk with it. I think. I know I can talk with it.
What?
I can connect to its brain.
What?
Yeah. I can.
Mary,
Well,
maybe
no, I can. No, I
you
can.
should do
It's
that
a
when
thing
you're
that
absolutely sure.
I am sure.
It would
I am
work.
sure. I still know how to use my powers.
I just...
All right, then do
I'm
something
not
with your
sure.
powers right now.
They're on a cooldown period.
They're on a cooldown period?
Just a little one.
A little cooldown period.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mary,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
if you do not make Digby's hair sit on fire right now, I am going to take you
whoa.
off of this machine.
The mission.
How about a
hang
different
on.
little trick other than setting my hair?
Set his hair on
well,
fire. Make him bald. Make him
so-
bald. I'm going to
so-
slap
No.
his head. Make
No.
him bald.
So, fun thing. So, we're all on the same page that I have a little tiny voice in my head.
We know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You hear the voices, right?
Yeah, you hear voices.
We know that you're,
yeah.
we know that you're crazy.
Not voices, just the voice. His name's Frank today. Anyway,
Mary, my name isn't
his
Frank.
name's Frank.
My
and
name is
he's really, really nice. And because he's so nice and he likes me so much, he is letting me take a break from using them right now. And instead, he's recommending that I take a self-care day at the library.
for the whole day, meaning that you're not going to be able to help.
No, yes, I am.
With-
I am going to be able to help once I am done self-caring. I
At
will.
the library.
Yes, I will kill the monster with the powers that I know how to use. They're just on cooldown.
Mary. So you're saying you can't use your powers?
No, that's not true.
Unless she goes to the library.
That's not true. I can see letters sometimes.
Okay.
Mary, not the letters again.
Yes, I can. I
We've
swear
already
to
spoken
God.
about this. There's no letters on the walls.
I punched the letters in. Yes,
Okay,
there
but
were.
That was could have been a coincidence, all right?
There were letters, and I used my powers to see them. And also, I have a magical ladle. Maybe not anymore, but I did.
God. Mary, let's look. I think it's best to stop talking.
Okay.
All right. Mary. Mary. If you want to convince Barkin that you don't, if you want to convince Barkin that you have access to your powers, but like are just choosing not to, I need you to roll a manipulate somebody roll.
I got a 10, baby.
Nice.
All right. So on a 10 plus, okay. All right. Okay. But if you are not going to use your powers, I need you to take this. And out of his back pocket, he pulls out the most beautiful, like, sculpted golden revolver you have ever seen in your life. It is this 36 caliber beautiful gun with this wood like paneling on the side of the handle, and he sort of slides it across the desk to you. You still need a way to defend yourself.
I still can use my powers, but I will take this just in case.
Mary, do you know? Barkin, is the safety on that thing? Did you?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it is, and she
yeah,
picks
the
it up and
safety
waves it around. See?
Digby, listen. I don't know, but this is bad. We are not normal people.
Barkin, Mary with a gun makes me uncomfortable. My life is in danger.
Mary with a gun makes you uncomfortable. You know what should make you uncomfortable?
What?
Cactuses. They're fucking everywhere. So shut your pie hole, go into the fucking town, get the shit, and get the fuck to the Wendigo. Beat its ass. Mary with a gun is the least of your fucking worries.
Mary with a gun is awesome.
Yeah.
Fine, Barkin. All right, I'll haul my ass into town and get whatever.
Yeah, just come up with a fucking plan. She's gonna go and take a mental health day, apparently, and you, what are you gonna do?
I have an idea in mind. Something to deal with the threat we're facing here.
All right. And yeah. Okay. Let's meet back here at noon, okay?
Okie
You guys have
dokie.
the entire morning to do whatever, but we need to come up with a final plan by then.
Sounds
If I
good
don't
to me.
see you guys again, well, you're probably the best chance we have. This town's population is 165 people. That's 165 lives. So let's carpe some DMs. Hello, and welcome to the midroll. I'm going to share with you some plans, some links, and some. I'm going to give some thanks. As of this point right now, we have recorded the rest of the arc. It's going to be this episode and then one more episode, and then we're going to be done. We are going to then take a break from producing and recording until January, and we're going to use January to just stock up on episodes and content and get all of our things settled. So the next episode, episode 9 of Lazitus, beginning of the new arc, will go up hopefully January 15th. But the end of this arc, I am going to post specially and specifically on the 31st, New Year's Eve, which is it's just a little bit of poetry. Just wanted to get that done. Of course, this one is going up today, and then, not to date this too much, but in precisely 1, 2, 3, 4, I can just do math. 12 days from now. That'll be when we're going to do it. Some exciting things coming up. I am currently having some character art commissioned for the characters, so that's going to be going up in episode 8's mid-roll. I already got the Digby stuff in. Very, very, very exciting. It looks so good. Yeah, dude. Patreon is great as always. I've included a stretch goal. I don't know if I talked about this in the last mid-roll or not, but that stretch goal is going to be a show swap. So the guys from Shway Schwarbage are going to come over here and do a Lazitus one-shot, and the Lazitus guys are going to go and review something Batman on Shway Schwarbage. So that is $100. Once we've achieved $100 a month, we will go ahead and make that specialty project and then establish some more stretch goals in the future. Yeah, dude. We have our $3, $5, and $10 tiers, respectively. That is the Argonaut, Astronaut, and Imaginaut tiers. They all have their own little things to offer. I'm actually going to link the Patreon in the description of the episode this time, if I can remember to do that. I've been meaning to, but I haven't for the last couple of episodes. So if you would like to support the show in any financial fashion, please do consider our Patreon. Follow us on Instagram. Please tell other people that you know about the podcast, and just keep listening. You know, we don't have many concurrent listeners, but the ones that we do have tell us that it's very good and that it's engaging, and that's happy to hear. And I look forward to seeing the numbers reflect that a little bit more. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely time listening to the rest of this episode. And as we cut back, you guys are each in your own respective locations. Mary, you have reached the entrance to the Clara Schaefer Memorial Library, and Digby, you have assembled all but one part of your masterpiece.
All right.
The last thing you need is a tube to sort of tie this one mechanism together, but you're not going to find it here.
I see.
Where would Digby go to
find
look for
it in a different place? Quentin, can you remind me where would Lawrence's shack have what I'm looking for? I forget where that is, but like is that somewhere we can go? Oh, no, never mind. That's old Nirvana. Whoops.
Yeah, Nirvana was sort of swallowed up. In this big old sinkhole. But Lawrence's shack is the dilapidated shack that the bunker is underneath.
Okay.
So if you want to just kick around like the upstairs portion, there's some stuff you could probably find. It's got like amenities.
Okay, Digby is gonna try his luck over there, then.
Okay, so after gathering all this scrap, um, Digby gathers himself and starts heading back in the direction of the bunker. Mary, you are at the Clara Schaefer Memorial Library, and as you open the vast double doors and walk inside, you see this spiral staircase in this front desk, and a woman sitting there. And she goes, "Hello, welcome to the Clara Schaefer Memorial Library. Can I help you?"
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm looking for a category of book that I don't know. I don't know if you guys will have, but I figured I would ask.
Okay.
I'm doing a school project on paganism, and
You're doing a school project on paganism.
yes,
What class is this for?
history. It's for
History?
history.
Pagan history.
No, it's a unit in my history class.
On paganism.
Yes.
Okay then. Oh, okay.
I was just wondering if you guys had any books on Satan or demons or that kind of thing.
Okay. Satans or demons? And she sort of pulls out, or she pulls up. She's in this rolling desk, or she's in this rolling chair at this desk, and she sort of spins around, and Lehacker style, starts hammering down on this old 90s computer terminal, clicking through folders and folders and folders of stuff, until she finds something, and she's like, "Oh, this is the closest to what you're going to be looking for." Yeah, it is up on the 3rd floor, and it is in the religious texts section.
Okay. Oh, one more thing, and I
Yeah.
don't know if you'll have this one. Do you guys have the Book of Death by chance?
The book of death,
Yeah.
like from the Mummy.
I don't know. Yes?
Yeah. Okay. No. We do not have the Book of Death.
Okay. Totally cool.
Okay. Yes. All right. Are you going to be on your way?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Have a good time, darling.
Thanks.
Okay. I will see you later checking out that book on Satan,
Yep.
cuz that's what you're doing
Mhm.
for a school project.
I'm homeschooled.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I get it a lot.
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna go now.
Okay. All right. See ya. And she turns back to her computer.
I like her.
So would you go back up
Yeah.
to the 3rd floor,
Yeah.
check the section that she said so?
And
Okay.
also, wasn't the Book of Death the one you wanted me to get? Or the demon wanted me to
you
get?
did get it.
Do we still have the possessions that we had from the before times?
No, you have nothing.
Okay. So it wasn't a completely dumb question.
Yeah, you don't have any of the inventory that you had from the Schaefer estate.
Okay.
Okay.
Digby, you would actually have your notebook, your original notebook, completely reassembled. You would know that
Oh, okay.
some of your notes actually are missing.
Not so okay.
Well, not that they have been like torn out, but like
The paper's just blank?
they haven't been written yet.
I see.
Um,
Ah ha ha.
and Mary, you're walking around this library, and you can hear in the back of your mind, Mary,
Mm-hmm. Hi, Frank.
take a left right now.
What? No.
Down that aisle right there. Take a left.
Okay.
I am now going to need you to tap into your powers. I'm going to need you to use the sight to find the exact book that we need.
Jesus Christ, why do you think I'm here? I can't use them.
What do you mean you can't use them?
I mean, I
Just
can't
try.
use them.
Just close your... Then how were you doing it before?
I don't know. I was in a tense situation. That seems to be how it works in, like, all of the movies. I don't know.
So you reacted to something. Your powers are reactive.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm just standing here in the goddamn library, I don't think I'm going to be able to use my powers.
All right. All right then, Mary. Let's see this then. And you can feel your sight leaving you.
What the fuck?
Darkness is closing in on the edges of your vision. And the world around you is disappearing.
This isn't funny, Frank.
Mary, you're only going to be able to see if you use the sight. Use your powers. Get out of this situation, or I'm going to start turning up the heat.
Shit, fuck, okay. I got an 8.
Yeah, you're going to have to roll that one with disadvantage.
Why?
Because...
Okay.
Because you're disadvantaged. That's crazy.
Because Mary's fucking stupid.
Yeah, so you crit on the other one.
Yeah.
So an 8 is a mixed success. And what that gets you... Let's see. Ooh, the spooky.
That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
So this is use magic. You have gotten the intended effect, but you can choose a glitch.
Okay.
The effect is weakened. The effect is of short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. The magic draws immediate unwelcome attention, or it has a problematic side effect.
Let's say a shorter duration.
Okay. You can feel... So have you ever seen like a movie where they have like an echolocation type deal? Like where they try to like show sonar, like the blue light sort of illuminating the shape of objects but not seeing the objects?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, except it's this fiery blue ethereal light outlining every object. The bookcases look empty, but you know that there are books on them. It's just the infrastructure that you can see. You can see through things. You can see the woman downstairs, you can see a little wisp inside of her chest.
Oh.
And as you walk forward, you can see a light, the same sort of fiery type texture, but it's red and it stands out among everything else. But it is on the other side of the floor. I'm going to need Mary to make an act under pressure to get there before your sight runs out.
Okay. Act under pressure, that's cool, right?
Yep.
I got another 8.
Yippee.
Yippee!
So Mary, you are running through. You are looking at all of these bookcases, and I am going to offer you a choice. On your way there, you knock over a bookshelf. Like completely knock it over. It tumbles to the ground. All of the books fall out. You have made a complete and utter mess. And you can see the woman from downstairs get up and start to walk up. And so you can either clean up this mess that you've made completely, make it so that it never even happened, or you can grab the book.
I'm gonna grab the book.
Okay. You run closer and closer. You grip it, and then your sight goes away. You are back in the dark.
But I can see, right?
Nope.
I'm blind.
You are blind.
That's not fair!
Still a weakness, Mary.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You're a liability. If we're actually going to face anything, you need to be better.
If I'm such a liability, why don't you go find someone else to live in?
What are you talking about?
I don't know how I started having these fucking powers.
No,
but I have
no.
a feeling they didn't just come from anywhere. I think they're from you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to need you to calm down. All right?
Yeah, okay.
Babe,
I'm the
babe,
one that needs
listen,
to calm down.
Listen, I'm going to need you to calm down, okay? You've just knocked over a big old bookcase.
Yeah, and whose fault is that? All of this is your fault.
I don't know who you think I am. I'm not God. I'm a librarian. And librarians don't have the power to make your life bad. We just make your life good by having you read stuff.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
I'm not going to say that it's okay. But it's not the worst. Could you maybe stand up and show me the book that you grabbed? Maybe? Just maybe so I can...
Yeah, absolutely.
And she looks at it. Or she takes it out of your hand and looks at it.
I'm sorry, I don't even know what it is. I can't see at the moment.
We don't carry this book. I told you we didn't carry this book. This book is not real. That's that's weird. Okay, that's very weird. Did you bring this with you? I no, you didn't, because I saw you grab it off of a shelf. This is weird. Okay. Love, would you mind maybe cleaning up the mess you made here?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Hey, you okay?
I'm okay. I'm sorry.
No, I can tell that you're upset.
No.
Um,
No, I'm not.
no. Hey, I have a little bit of a reputation for being an empath. You, you're crying, and not many people know this, but sometimes when people are crying, they're upset.
I will be okay. I've had a weird couple of days, but I'm gonna be okay. So, I'm just gonna clean up the mess over there. And then I will get my book on paganism for my homeschool class, and I will be out of your hair.
Still a very, very tricky, weird situation that you've presented to me for why you need this particular book that we do not carry in our library, that you have somehow been able to whisk out of thin air.
Yeah, well, I'm
Just
a
one
pretty...
of those days, I guess.
I'm a pretty peculiar person.
You should put that on a t-shirt. And you can hear her walk away and walk down the steps. As your sight comes back to you.
Huh.
I guess I do need you to read the book.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean up the fucking bookshelf first, Frank.
God fucking, my name is not Frank.
It is today.
So you're cleaning up the bookshelf?
Yeah, and then I'll get started reading the book.
All right. So it is then that we'll cut back to Artie. Artie, Digby is sort of poking around the old house.
That's wild.
It's this one-story shack. Well, there's one story intact. There is this staircase that goes upwards, but there's a massive chunk taken out of it. So unless he wanted to like push himself and do some like parkour or find a ladder or something, he can't get upstairs.
Okay.
It's this one room with this bed, and underneath that is the little latch to get down into the bunker. And then, of course, upstairs.
Okay. Is there anything on the bed?
On the bed, there is
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about I think Digby will be inclined to try and take a look at the bunker.
Take a look at the bunker. Okay. So as you climb down into the bunker, I mean, it's your guys' bunker. It's where you've been bunkering up.
There you go. How's the state of it? Is it looking okay? Is it
So the thing that
disrepair?
just to re-describe this bunker in detail,
Yeah.
it is this room out of time. It is this big 50s, like really ugly looking carpet, this weird zany looking furniture, very pastel metal walls. It looks like one of those It looks like it's out of like an Austin Powers movie.
Huh. Okay.
Um, there's a sign that says "Groovy Baby." So it's between like this Austin Powers like I like an Austin Powers pad and like a 50s like nuclear family home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
And of course there's like exposed wiring and like ventilation and stuff all over the place, but it's not like it doesn't look disheveled. It just looks like it was sort of haphazardly built.
okay. Is it just the one room, or is there any other passageways to
So
be
it
traveled?
is there's the one main room, and then there is of course a little hallway with three individual rooms with these
Right.
cots in them. That's where you stayed last night.
Mm-hmm.
There is the panic room, which has been reconfigured into that pantry. There's a little kitchenette. Um, there is the workshop, um, where Digby has all of his tools and welding equipment and stuff. Um, and of course, there's the meeting room.
Digby's inclined to see if the last thing he's looking for, maybe it's, I don't know, buried under a box of stuff in the welding in the in the workshop maybe.
Okay. Just roll sharp.
Oh wow. That's a 12.
Holy shit. Yeah. On a 12, on an unnatural 12, you find what you're looking for. You
Nice.
find the exact spec of tube you were looking for.
How
Combined,
convenient for that to
yeah.
be there.
So combined with everything else, you are able to craft this, or I mean, like you have all of the individual pieces
Okay.
to craft what you have been thinking about making.
Is it gonna take some time to make this?
It is going to take a little bit of time. It's probably going to take up until noon.
Okay. In that case, I think Digby should start working on it as soon as possible.
Okay. And that is what Digby does until we have our little meeting. Um, Mary, you have finished cleaning up.
Okay. So she takes the book, evidently the Book of Death, and she goes over to a table and she flips it open.
So the language inside is indecipherable. As you look down at the page, you can feel this pressure in the back of your mind, like the demon is peeking in, and the words look jumbled. They're unintelligible. They look like they're smothered, smeared on the page.
Okay, she closes it immediately and goes to try and read another book.
That one is the same as well. Mary, you have to.
Are you fucking with me?
What?
This isn't real.
What
I'm
do you mean this
dreaming.
isn't-
I'm dreaming.
What?
I can't read. And she goes to pick up another book and tries to read it.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Big fucking whoop, Frank.
What do you mean you can't read?
I mean, all of these words look jumbled and smushed up on the page. You know, it's funny. I didn't really pay attention when Digby was reading all those books. back at the estate, because really, I don't give much of a shit what he has to say. But there was this really interesting thing that he said about dreaming.
Yes?
When one is dreaming, if you really want to know whether or not you're conscious, a good sign, a good thing to look for, is whether or not you can read.
Okay, Mary. I hate to break this to you, but you are fully lucid right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like, what? What am I supposed to do? Prove it to you?
I don't know. I don't necessarily trust you.
Okay. Are you gonna do something stupid and dangerous on purpose to try and test?
No. I just want you to wake me up.
Mary, you are awake. You are awake right now.
Okay. Why can't I read anything in this library?
I don't know.
She starts pinching herself.
It doesn't have any effect.
Kicking chairs lightly. She doesn't want to make another mess again.
It doesn't do anything.
God!
All right, Mary.
Can you read? When I look at these books, can you see the words?
Yes.
Of course you can. Of course you can. Okay, why don't you tell me what I'm supposed to be reading?
A spell, Mary. A spell in the Book of Death.
Like Harry Potter?
No, a spoken word.
Okay. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say?
You are supposed to say...
The spell, ooh.
Ooh.
You're supposed to say the word spell backwards.
Spell backwards. Plus?
No,
Spell.
that was a joke.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You are supposed to say the word in the spell book, which I cannot say.
How fucking convenient.
All right, you know what, Mary? You can figure this out by yourself.
I've been trying to do anything by myself all day, so why don't you just butt out?
All right, fine. And you can feel it dissipate again.
Ooh,
And
I hurt his feelings.
Do you still have the books open?
Mm-hmm.
They all sort of reconfigure themselves.
Ooh. Whoa. Okay. That's fun to note. Okay, I go back to the one book and I try to read the spell.
The page that you were opened up to is a spell called Truth Seeking. You can divine one mystic truth, but there is a minor sacrifice that must be paid.
Fuck that. She's not about to go sacrificing at the moment. I'm gonna start flipping through. Is there anything particularly helpful, or should I really be focusing in?
You basically see like a couple of allusions to the way that your powers work. You can see that this is a reprint of a book written by a woman with a name you cannot pronounce. But it has been transcribed by Jim Ashton.
Okay.
Um, and as you flip through, you look in, um, and you see another spell. You see like allusions to the way that your powers work. You see true sight, or the sight.
Mm-hmm.
You see all of this stuff, but it looks like everything comes with some sort of cost. Not everything, not every cost is life. It can be time. It can be your free will. It can be all sorts of things. But everything comes with a cost. And then you flip into a section where this cost doesn't really matter that much. In times of great stress or great peril, your mind may forego needing to make an offer up front and instead have the effect, and like whatever the cost is will catch up with you. It's basically like taking out a loan.
Okay.
It's a defense mechanism. You basically learn that the way you've been using your powers is like the worst case scenario.
Interesting.
Ew.
And like you flip through, and like the cost for the sight is the ability to see. So you were able to see true things. You were able to see that spiritual light, but you were not able to see anything else. So things may be invisible that would otherwise be visible. You can see all sorts of different things. The one that doesn't seem to have any sort of like sacrifice that needs to be made is a spell called Hex. And that is only because divine retribution is brought upon the one that it is being used on.
Okay.
And even in that case, things can still happen. You find the concept of glitches and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And you would like, in hindsight, know that the cost for this truth-seeking spell is a truth of your own. You learn one concept and basically unlearn another. And it needs to be something of equal or greater importance. So if you wanted to learn to cook, you would need to forgo the ability to fish. But that's more of a general sort of thing. It seemed as if the demon had something in particular it wanted you to find out.
Okay. She braces herself. And I guess to Frank, she goes, before I do this spell, is there anything you want me to know? Anything in particular you want out of it? This is like my one good deed.
Mary?
Mm-hmm.
I want you... I want you to get to know your enemy.
The wendigo.
The wendigo. I want you to learn the origin of the wendigo's creation. And I want to use this spell to do it.
Okay. But don't ever say I didn't do anything for you.
Okay.
And I say the spell, it's super spooky. Woo!
Just say the word, Mary.
Oh, am I actually... Oh. Sorry, I didn't see that you sent me something, and I was like, wait, what the fuck am I supposed to do here?
The
You have to
magic
insert
word
your
is
own word.
please.
Okay, she uses a very dramatic voice, and goes, Lear Za.
And what a mighty fine Za it is.
Yeah.
As your vision goes dark, as always. But this time you feel like you're falling.
Oh, shit.
And instantly, you are in this old western town.
Oh.
And you are holding a basket. You just stepped outside of a store, a little grocery store, one that you don't recognize. Just a little general goods store. You step out of there with a couple of meats, some fruits, just general goods. And you know in the back of your mind that you have to go back and make food for your father. And so the way back home is busy. You can see these wagons, the occasional car. It's this weirdly it's this interesting town where it's out of time. It's this cowboy aesthetic, but there's all of this for the time really innovative technology, like cars, and you can see electrical lines running above, and you can see people fiddling with things. You can see people creating art, music, all of this sort of stuff. You can see people working utilities. Everybody is always working in the town of Nirvana.
Oh.
And as you arrive back at home, you open the door, and your father isn't there, but you glance around at all of these beautiful, beautiful statuettes. These little men that you've created out of stones that he'll bring home from the mine. And then it happens. The ground shakes once and then twice. And you can see a portrait of a girl about 10 years old. Her hair done in these ratty pigtails, sitting upon her father's shoulders, this big, burly man, covered in soot, as a panel from the floor above falls down and cuts it in half. You feel the need to go to the quarry. You need to make sure your father is safe. And so you turn tail and you open the door, leaving the groceries behind. Running, the ground is shaking more and more. These geysers opening up. This multicolored liquid flowing out. It looks like lava, except, again, this multicolored rainbow sort of kaleidoscopic liquid. Looking at it too much hurts your head as it gushes out of the ground. And you run faster and faster until finally you reach the quarry, running down, tumbling through rocks. You reach the cave entrance, the service elevator. You hit the switch. And then finally, the greatest shake of all. The rope lowering you down comes loose, and you fall into the darkness. You wake up several hours later, what feels like several hours later, and you look around at the state of this place. This tunnel where your father came to work, where he brought you all of those beautiful stones. You have to feel around with your hands, get really, really close to things. Otherwise, it's pitch black. You look up a small, minuscule hole. You can see a glint of sunlight. But looking down, you understand why you can see a glint of sunlight. Because the ceiling collapsed on top of your father and the rest of his crew. They're dead. Long, long dead. You sit down. It hurts. Your own body is broken. You're trapped. And as time goes on, you find a source of water, of liquid. And you start to drink. Days have passed. This hunger grows. Slowly, bones shift. Antlers form. Underneath your face becoming this mask. You can feel your true face forming out of your flesh, hardening. And then the hunger becomes too much as this hunk of meat sitting under these rocks becomes more alluring. This ravenous hunger inside of you becomes irresistible. You can't hold it back. As your transformation is complete. And the only thing you can think about is bringing your father back. Putting your father back together. And that's where we're going to end the session.